Welcome to the From Surviving to Thriving Beyond Paycheck seminar. Take a listen to our second speaker. The link to other speakers will be in the description box.
To Adeola Monofi. I'm sure she's here. Yes. So,
yes, I am.
Oh, okay, you're welcome, sis. Thank you for coming in to share your knowledge. Adeola is a do-it-yourself investing coach, and she's an multiple award-winning financial coach. She's a financial literacy enthusiast. She has great knowledge in this industry, great amount of wealth, spanning over 12 years in the financial services industry. And she's passionate about helping Canadians attain financial independence through education, literacy, and common investment strategies, right? At least passive income. That's one of the strengths she'll be talking about today. So she'll also be touching on how to get started, the income opportunities, the secrets in the market as well. And I'm sorry, I was admitting someone, so my slide went off. Yeah, and building wealth through the industry as well. She's a devoted wife. She's an aspiring. She coaches financial professionals who are aspiring, and she's a mother of two beautiful angels, as she would put it. So Adeola, please take it away. Thank you. You can start dropping your questions, please, in the chat if you do. So after all the speakers, we can address them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Smart Money Coach. It's an honor to be here, and thank you to the first speaker also for opening our eyes to all the money we can make in real estate. I love investing, so anything that has to do with investments, all my antennas are always up. Right, so thank you for that nice, interesting, eye-opening session. Am I able to share my screen?
Yes, please go ahead. Mr. Benga can stop sharing. Yeah, I think you started.
Okay.
I think you can just take it away, and you can, once you share, it's going to knock me off.
Okay.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
We can. Yes, we can.
Okay, let's show you can't. Okay. So, since Sharon is not so generous with the time, we have to make use of all the available time we have. There's always so much information to share. However, like she said, this would be an eye-opening session, and you may just want to take one, if it's something you're interested in, take more time to understand all the nitty-gritties. So today I'm going to be talking about how you can build a successful business in the financial services industry. And let's just get it away. She already introduced me. So I am Adeola Monofi, also known as the Money Savvy Coach. And I'm a DIY investing coach, a financial literacy enthusiast, and a financial advisor licensed across various provinces in Canada. Been in financial services for over 12 years. So it's my forte, like anything that has to do with finance, investment, insurance, that's definitely my area of specialization. So a quick background into my story, or my Canadian story. I relocated to Canada sometime in 2019, October of 2019, not so long ago. Well, it's long now, right? And then I've always been money savvy. I've always been in the financial space. I've always been a very savvy investor. And so let me just give you guys a quick gist about my own culture shock when I landed in here. So I had my money in different places in Nigeria. I had federal government bonds. I had T-bills, money market funds, all sorts of investments that were giving me guaranteed returns, like good returns. My federal government bond was paying me 600,000 naira every 6 months. I had 10 million fixed there for 7 years. Guaranteed, no story, right? So imagine my shock when I came into Canada. I came with all this energy, feeling like everything was going to look better on this side because, well, it's abroad, right? And I go to the bank. I wanted to fix our proof of funds, and I was looking for opportunities to actually invest. And then the lady said, "Oh, welcome. We have nice package, GIC rates," which is because I said I wanted to do fixed deposits until we settle down. So I found out fixed deposit was the same thing as GIC. Now, this proof of fund, I had been fixing it like every 90 days, waiting for the PR letter to come at like 12%. So I say, "Oh, I want to fix my proof of funds." And then the lady says, "Oh, yeah, we have a very fantastic rate of 0.65%. If you would fix this money for 14 months." I almost collapsed. Honestly, that's my own biggest culture shock to today. I'm like, "Do you mean 6.5%?" And she says, "No, it's actually 0.65%. And I'm like, "No, that's it doesn't make any sense to me. It's less than 1%. How can that be considered investing? What's the difference between leaving my money in my savings account?" And she says, "Well, with the interest rates, we're at an all-time historical low, and that's it." Wow. I actually carried myself out of the bank, went back home to like those that hosted us, and I'm like, "How do you people make money in Canada? How do you save? How do you invest?" Surprisingly, nobody really had anything interesting to tell me. I was like, there's problem because really, I love making money, but I love it better when my money is making money for me. I love passive income way more than active income. If it was up to me, I just want to do nothing and be spending money, right? So that was what actually sent me into ultimate search mode. So I went into ultimate search mode. I didn't believe that there was no ways to invest. I just felt like many people did not know. And so I started looking everywhere, finding information. And finally, I came across um, a certain financial products that made a lot of sense, at least way better than all I was hearing. Of course, later I found out how I could actually make my TFSA and RSP grow using the stock market and stuff like that. But this financial tool was like a hybrid. It had life insurance in it, it had investments in it, and I looked at it, had lots of good like benefits, and I thought, okay, at least this one makes sense because I was looking at numbers and historical performances that were spanning more than 12%. I was like, okay, at least we have something that makes sense for the long run. So I decided to take my own plan, set up for my husband as well, and let that one start on the background while I continue my search. However, that's where I actually saw the opportunity because I stopped, I paused, I looked, I was like, I believe there's so many more people like me who are looking for ways to save and invest. And being newcomers, they don't understand how the Canadian financial system worked because everything seemed quite shady. Like it wasn't just straightforward. You want to open an account, you're trying to figure out is it checking, is it savings? Somebody gives you a credit card, they don't tell you, okay, you need to pay back before this date, or you're going to be multiplying your interest really fast. There are just so many things. People say, "Oh, invest in TFSA, RSP," not knowing that, well, the TFSA and RSP are not actual investments. They're just vehicles, containers, and putting money there does not necessarily automatically grow your money. So there were so many things that was not out there. And I thought, oh, if I understood this, then I could be the mouthpiece to share it with other people, especially people like myself, who don't understand that this is how these things work. And that's how I actually began my financial literacy career, financial services career in Canada. So it all boils down to looking out for opportunities. Most of the things that stress you now could actually be that the moment you find the solution, I think what most people do is they just try to gatekeep it or keep it to themselves and not share it with the world. But if there's something that's ever stressed you and you finally found a solution to it, it could be like your breakthrough when you start to share it with people because now you find you're not the only one who is dealing with that kind of issue. You're not the only one who is looking. So that was what I realized. I said I could bet because people who were coming to Canada as PRs and stuff like that during that period were all professionals from back home in Nigeria with good jobs, with like some of us even had cooks and drivers and all that. And then we're coming back, we're starting from scratch. Of course, we can't go back and say we're going to rely on our retirement savings account or the RSA thing that we have with the way our currency was crashing. So I was like, many people would be looking for how they can rebuild their wealth here in Canada. Right. So now that I have this information, why don't I share it with people and help them to find ways to start over and start securing their future? How it all starts. So I've always been the one kind of person that's always on the lookout for opportunities. When I see a problem, I'm always believing that there is something good that could come out of this problem, because there's probably a lot of people who have the same problem. And if I get the solution, I can share it with them for a fee. It's a win-win scenario. So that was how I stopped looking for jobs. In fact, I was very gingered when I came. I was like, you know what? anywhere money is, let's just face there. Any certification, bring it, let's write it. Is this tech? Bring everything, right? But after that, I was just like, you know what? This is it. This is the problem I'm going to be solving in Canada. And I actually can boldly say that I've never had a regular job. I've never worked any other job than what I do currently in the financial services space. I don't know how. I don't have resume. I don't know how to write it. Right. So now, of course, when I decided I was going to start doing this, I knew I didn't want to start from scratch. Newcomer, brand new newcomer, don't have Canadian experience, nothing at all. Starting a business from scratch is going to be hell to build it up. So what's the hack? Leverage on proven systems and structures, right? Systems that were already in place that could actually help me get the message out. You know, just like what Airbnbs do, they don't necessarily own any property, right? They just link the person who needs somewhere to stay and the host who has a space to share. And then they make some money on the background, right? And that's like how real estate actually works as well. It's all about leverage. Link people who need this with the person who wants to provide it. Get a commission and get out of the equation. As long as you're doing that, you're not necessarily bearing all the brunt. You're not bearing all the expenses, and it just makes it easier, right? Because having to start a product, having to get funding, having to push a business from scratch in a new country wasn't something I was ready to take on, right? So I actually looked for proven systems and structures that could actually help me to get that message across to people, right? And that was how my financial literacy or financial services business in Canada started to try. Now, who we are, when we say financial professionals, who are we? What do we do basically? So we are, in simple terms, independent financial advisors. There are two types of advisors in Canada. There's captive advisor and there is the independent advisor. The captive advisor is the one you would meet whenever you walk into a financial institution, that would help you to, when you say you want to open an account, they will tell you book an appointment, then you would have to sit with somebody. They work for that institution. So that's why we call them captive, because they can't work for a financial institution. It will be considered conflict of interest. Now, there's the other one, which are like people like us who are like freelancers. We are independent. We don't work for any financial institution in particular. However, we can have contracts with multiple of them, promote their products, help our clients to set it up, and then get paid commissions. So it won't be on payroll, but it would be commissions. And honestly, I love commissions, right? So that's basically who we are, independent financial advisors. And what do we do? Basically provide financial education and take it a notch further, financial solution. Because it's not enough to just educate people, you would see a lot of finance creators, this is not financial advice. This is not financial advice. I'm just sharing, right? That's just education. We take it a notch further by actually helping people to implement whatever we teach them. So it's not enough to say, you should save for your future. Well, I could actually help you set up an investment plan to save for your future, or you should get life insurance. No, I could actually help you to set up this life insurance and make sure your family is properly protected, right? So we take it a notch further by actually putting the implementation in place. So we could actually help people do a number of things, get out of debt. So now we have, like I said before, we're contracted with multiple financial institutions who offer different kind of financial solutions, right? So we have debt forgiveness partners, we have life insurance companies, we have, investments and other companies that we also work with. We can also help you get better rate on mortgages because we can do mortgage referrals. So by the time you do deal with Mr. Benga, and you're looking for money for that thing, then you can reach out to us. We can help you with getting rates. And of course, we also help people to increase their cash flow, basically, because we can share this business with them. Now, how are we able to do those things? How are we able to offer those solutions? Of course, in Canada, if you're going to be an independent financial advisor, because this space is a highly regulated field, you can't just come from anywhere and start collecting people's money or giving them financial advice, because you need to follow some regulatory requirements, which includes getting licensed and stuff like that. But if you're going to be independent, you have to be working or registered with an MGA. So an MGA means Managing General Agency, and there are a couple of them right here in Canada. Now, I work with a fantastic MGA, in case you're looking for MGAs to be with, right? Very generous and fantastic one, right? What do these MGAs do? They basically oversee the affairs of we independent advisors. So they don't sell products, they don't sell services. They oversee what we are doing, make sure we are compliant, make sure we're treating our customers fairly, and following all regulatory requirements, right? And they also link us with product providers that we are able to use to serve our clients better. So if you're going to be an advisor that's independent, you need to have a contract with an MGA. Now, with the MGA, of course, like I said, we're able to represent various financial institutions here in Canada. A couple of them are Ivari, Edge Benefits, 21st Century, Travelance, and EMO and stuff like that. And we're able to actually offer various solutions, including, but not limited to this. You can do life insurance, you can do your regular TFSAs, RSPs, and stuff like that. There's also health and dental for people who may be self-employed and who do not have any kind of coverage for extended health benefits. Small businesses, we can also provide solutions, benefits for small business owners, disability insurance, critical illness, travel insurance, when you have your folks coming from Nigeria or any other part of the world, and you want them to be covered here. These are solutions that we can provide. So we can actually provide a couple of solutions because we have the leverage. We leverage on these financial institutions to provide the solution to the clients. We educate the clients, link them to the institution, and then we get a commission for doing so, right? Now, why is this an awesome opportunity? Of course, you get to be your own boss and live life on your own terms. Like I said, I've never had to work a regular job. This is what I've always done. This is my home office in the corner of my house. And I always love showing off my trophies. That's why you can see it in the background. It's not easy. It's not easy to hand those those trophies, right? So you get to be your own boss. You run your calendar. And you can do it however you like. Make sure you have time for the kids on there to do their extracurricular. Make sure you have time for this and that. You just run the show. Of course, enjoy tax breaks. The moment you're a licensed independent advisor, you are literally like a self-employed person, right? Like you're an agency owner. That's basically what it means. So all the commissions you get from helping your clients, they come to you gross. So you get to deduct all your tax, all your business expenses, the money you use for licensing, the money you use to buy your computers and monitors and set up your home office, the electricity you use, the travels, the entertainment. Maybe you have to meet up with your client and chat with them at Teams or anywhere you like to meet with them. Like all those business expenses that you can deduct and take out of the total commissions. And at the end of the day, you'll be paid way more less taxes than people who go to work. I usually say for my work, I work less, make more money, and then still pay less taxes, which is the opposite. If you're making more money as an employee, you're definitely paying more taxes, right? So you get to enjoy a lot of tax breaks. In fact, my first year doing this business, I made $250,000. And my total tax burden that year was $30,000. If that was employment income, at least 120K to 140K would have been deducted from the source in taxes, right? So it's cool. Also, it's flexible, runs remotely. As long as I have my computer and I have Wi-Fi, I can do business anywhere in the world. And that's why some people will see my son, oh, you're always traveling. When do you get to do the work? I'm not limited by location. As long as I have my computer and I have Wi-Fi, I can do my business. Right. So it's very flexible and it runs remotely. Also, there is no limit to how much you can earn. This is the part that I love the most. When I tell people about this opportunity and they're like, it's commission based, that's irregular income. Maybe this month I would have business. Next month I would not. When I hear commissions, I hear unlimited income. There is no ceiling to how much I can earn. Just tell me, give me this, I give you that. And then I can go to my own work and say, if I want to make this, then I have to sell this much. I control it. Like I write my own paycheck. And there's no limit because it sells. There's no limit to how much you could possibly earn. Like you heard Mr. Binga talking about commissions on real estate property. If he's having a good time and he's selling multiple, he could make $1 million in commission in a given year. And he has the same 24 hours that every other person has, right? So what I told myself then in the beginning, if I put 8 hours into doing this thing, there's no way that I would not make way more than somebody who is grinding at work. And I'm not trying to diss 9 to 5 workers. No, I'm just saying, so don't misunderstand me. All right. So, of course, there's no limit to how much you can earn. You can earn unbelievable amount of money doing this. Also, there's the opportunity for personal growth and development. I'm a personal development, what will I call it? I don't want to use a negative word, but no matter how much I know, I just always believe there's so much more that I do not know that I need to know, right? So you would always still see me taking courses, watching trainings, and you're like, what exactly are you looking for? I don't know. I just feel like there's just always something somewhere that could make whatever I'm doing better, and I could always make more money with lesser effort. People that are lazy. Why my mom used to say when I was young, when they would say, go and wash plate, and I would be running over the plate, they would say, you're lazy. I remember to tell my mom that, that laziness is a gift because I always come up with shorter ways to get things done. And not shortcuts, not doing it shabbily, just more effective. I'm always like, okay, they're spending 10 hours on this thing. I'm sure if we do something like this and like this, we can finish this thing in 5 hours and I can go and use the remaining time to chill. I love soft life, right? So you get to grow actually when it comes to this kind of business. It's not easy to build a business, but it's very rewarding, right? Because you can't teach what you do not know. So you would always want to learn more. You will always want to, there were many things. I knew a lot about money, finance, talk about anything. But when I started sharing my knowledge on social media, then I had no idea about graphics design and CapCut and stuff like that. But today, I do those things as well as I talk about money. Right. These are things that you have to stretch, go out of your comfort zone. But when you look back, you're a much more better person than who you were right at the beginning of that race. Right. So you get to expand your knowledge. You get to develop skills. Even as a coach for other advisors, business building skills, management, conflict resolution, communication, interpersonal relationships. It was talking about networking and building. If I tell people I'm an introvert, they don't believe me. All this my mouth is I'm making because I'm in front of my computer. If I'm in a space where all of you are now, I'll be gentle, right? But then at the end of the day, now I am much more better as a person because of this opportunity, actually. So, of course, you're helping others. You're bringing value to people's life. There are people looking for that information. There are people looking for that solution that you have, right? Every time I help a family to set up a life insurance coverage that would protect them, I know that none of my clients, and I have so many of them, will be doing GoFundMes if life happens. I pray for them to live long because I also know that none of my clients will be greeting people at Walmart at retirement when they should be chilling on a cruise ship. Not my clients, right? Because we are building this wealth, and it's for us. So I'm so enthusiastic. I can't wait to get up and share it with people, right? So you're helping people, you're you're adding value to their lives, you're protecting their families, you're securing their future, you're a big deal, honestly, right? So, and of course, there are other perks like the low startup cost. As far as I'm concerned, comparing this to building brick and mortar businesses from the scratch, this is way low startup cost because really all the money you really need to do is to get started. It's your licensing and all those other little costs, which is really, really very small, right? Also, there is a large market. Money for me, there's no better business than the business of money itself. Because everybody talks money, everybody spends money. I mean, people can't sleep 24 hours a day because they have to wake up and go and chase money. So money is always a hot topic, right? You would always have market for that, right? There are also good products and services and that many people are not exposed to that you get to share with people. And of course, there's a proven system that you can actually leverage on. So how many minutes do I have more? Have I spent 20 minutes already?
Yes, you've spent more than that. I was chatting you, but you were busy gisting us away.
Right, so I don't look at chats when I'm talking. How can I be multitasking like that? Anyway, I'm done. I'm almost done. Let me just keep a round up. So the rest is just going to be fast forward. Okay. So of course you can earn so much money. How much money could you earn? For instance, if I had a client who was 20, who was like 20, 35 years old, like she's a female and she wants to ensure that her family is properly protected. They're different kind of products and services anyways. But this is like the one that sold me, that attracted me into this industry. Right. And she wants a plan that could protect her family and also be a source of long-term investment. And she only has about $200 to put in every single month. This babe would get about like lock in about a permanent coverage of about 500K if life happens. That's there for life. I would also get, okay, the retirement income number is missing, but about 27K in retirement income if life is long every single year from about age 65 till she passes away, all for contributing $200 monthly for 20 years. I mean, the details is more detailed, but we can't talk about it now. But for doing that, helping her to solve that problem, putting $200 away that she could have easily spent somewhere else to secure her future and protect her family, then I get rewarded with about $2,000 to $3,000 for that transaction. Does that look like a cool amount of money? That's somebody's monthly income, right? So it's really good. And how much have I earned doing this as a person myself? I've made over $1 million in the last 4 years as an independent financial advisor, right? And like these are like trophies to prove that the least I've ever made is 250K in a 12-month period, by the way, right? So how do we get started? Well, it's always starting with like your licensing. You have to register with the MGA, and that's where you get linked. You write your exams, and once you have your exams, you apply for a license. Now the exams are cheap. I wrote them in one month, although people can take longer. Like I say, I always find shorter ways to do things, right? So I wrote my exams in 1 month, got my exams done. And then the moment your exams are out, our exams are in two batches actually. There's the certifications, which is like the prerequisite, and then there's the provincials. Once you have the provincials and you've passed it, apply for your license and follow whatever system or MGA that you are with. They always have a system to help you go from that green newly licensed advisor to somebody who can independently work with others or teach people or help families to protect themselves and secure their future. Right. So let's just leave it at that. Right. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I'm always excited to share this. You can tell. Right. So talk is cheap. Execution is key. Right. Somebody who knows is no better than somebody who knows and does not implement is no better than somebody who doesn't know. Right. So if you would like more information, you can always reach out to Omo. She knows where to get me. And of course, feel free to follow me on social media. Money Savvy Coach on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Facebook. But I bear my father's name. Okay, no, my real name and on LinkedIn and YouTube. Right. Thank you so much, and see you in the comments in the question and answer session. All right. I'm sorry for using.
Click the link on the screen to watch the next speaker.